Oh, hi, hello, welcome to Good Times and Killness podcast. Oh, hi, K-Town.
Hi, David.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Yo.
And today we're going to sit here. Today we're going to talk about my infamous movie from 2003, The Room. Alright. Okay, guys. So we're talking about Tommy Wiseau's. What pronunciation are we rolling up with today?
I like Wiseau.
Wiseau.
I'm gonna change it every time I say it.
Okay, we'll just go back and forth. Wiseau kind of has a more of a wizardy type of vibe.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
All right, so we are talking about one of the most infamously bad but good movies ever fucking created. So this is definitely an episode where we need to kind of gush about where we were when this all happened. Like, what is our experience with this? I just want to mention, first of all, I know that before any of us got into this, since I got Mark into this, I remember K-Town got into this movie first.
Yeah, dude, I watched this on Adult Swim in like 2005.
Yeah, damn.
Like,
2 years fresh.
Yeah, I was like 15, just, you know,
you were
Adult
basically
Swim,
there.
Adult Swim at 10 o'clock at night, you know, you were just watching like Dragon Ball Z or some like goofy shit back then. And I turned it on and The Room was playing for like 8 hours straight that night. And like every commercial break was like an infomercial to buy the DVD. And I kept having to check like my cable, like, to make sure. I was like, is this Cartoon Network? Like, what the fuck is this?
What is going on?
Apparently some of those commercials he used, like, after the movie dropped, and he would, like, have them play at, like, 3 o'clock at night, because, like, the television stations would just be like, oh, yeah, whatever, it's 3 a.m.
Yeah, we'll sell you some.
I had
some
no fucking idea what I was... Like, I remember, like, 6 years later, like, I was, like, 20, and, like, just happened to stumble across it on YouTube, and I was like, yo, that wasn't a fever dream. This is fucking real.
So did you get it when you saw it?
No, because, like, I was just, like, flipping through, and it's like, he's like, oh, hi, doggy, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, must be.
Because this was, like, pre-Tim and Eric and shit. Like, this wasn't Adult Swim. Like, that was fucking weird.
There must be a fundamental difference between people that saw this movie not knowing that it's a cult flick, and people like us, Mark and I, who had. Because when I got into this movie, I was kind of on like a trip watching movies like Troll 2, Miami Connection, you know, just these really, you know, the classic so bad they're good types of movies.
Infamous bad movies.
Yeah.
I remember, I think it was the first time I watched this movie, you came over, but I think you guys like had to leave, but then we watched it again later on.
Actually, I think the first time you showed
it was all of us the second time.
Yeah.
Okay.
The first time I remember... Yeah, the first time was at your house or something. But I remember one night at my house when we stayed in the duplex, and it was like at the end of a night, at the end of a party. I remember just being like really trashed, and you're like, yo, let's check out this movie. And I remember being like, what is this garbage? Like, what is this? Like,
I do remember you being kind of like, dude, what the
I was super tapped out on it. I did not get it at first.
Well, it's the sex scenes, I think, that are the most jarring.
Oof, if you make it through the first 30 minutes.
I mean, what in the first 30 minutes, there's like 3 sex scenes.
In the first 10 minutes, there's a 4-minute sex scene.
It's like, there's no sooner than you're into the movie is there a sex scene that's as long as since you started watching the movie after the credits. All right, so let's talk about the man, the myth, the legend, and never have those words been more pertinent and honest. Tommy Wiseau. Because no one even knows where he's fucking from or how old he is, although he used to claim that he was from, at one point he said he was from France, then one point he said he was from New Orleans, then he said that he was from Chalmette, Louisiana, then he said he was from Chalmette Street in New Orleans, in Louisiana.
He said he's been heard to say he's from Rio.
Oh yeah, Rio? Yeah. But the reality is he's most likely from some Eastern Bloc country, most likely Poland.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I mean,
some Eastern European country.
Hint about later in the episode, Transylvania.
Yeah, we have some theories later on
into that,
which is actually a lot of. We'll get to it, but
it makes fucking sense, dude.
There's a lot of good points in your argument.
Yeah. You heard it here first, guys.
Well, Tommy Wiseau has once claimed that he was born in 1969, which would have made him about 30 years old when this movie was shot. But that's, I mean, like everything else in his life, there's that's probably not true. He was probably like 40.
Yeah, closer to.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, he originally told Greg that Greg's the actor's name, right?
Yeah, Greg Sestero.
Greg Sestero.
Yeah, that he was the same age as him.
Oh, yeah.
Like when he met him, and Greg was 19.
Yeah, I was gonna say what 1920 or something like that. Yeah, fucking right. That dude looked like a full-grown man.
Oh yeah, I'm same age as you.
Yeah, I just graduated from high school, and I got $6 million to make a big movie in Hollywood.
Yeah, James Dean, same age. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so, but regardless of where he came from, he eventually ended up in Southern California, where he had claimed that he'd become independently wealthy from, amongst other claims, by selling defected jeans he had bought from, China or something. And then by doing that, he had gathered enough money to rent out rental space throughout San Francisco and Los Angeles.
And also, he was in steelwork somehow.
He said he
built like steel buildings,
or something like that. It's all just fucking foggy with this guy, and I think whenever you ask him, he says something a little different every time. Mm-hmm. So it never gets any.
I'm fucking telling you guys, man,
dude. Honestly, you only brought up that theory right before this.
Yeah, and it makes everything clicks.
Yeah, exactly. It all adds up. It all checks out. So, while Wiseau is believed to have been in Hollywood in as early as 1980, which would make sense if he was hustling out there in any way, it wasn't until 1999 that he met a young man just out of high school named Greg Sestero, and that is when Tommy's life would finally propel into a whole new direction by becoming a filmmaker.
Yeah, I think Greg Sestero helped him find focus. They he kind of fed off of Greg, I believe, a little bit, and vice versa. I mean, Greg was, like you said, 19. He was a fucking kid. He's just
Greg was his muse.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. And, he kind of fed off of Greg's energy. He's like, this... I think he saw something in Greg. This kid is a star. We can do this together. I think the same way that Greg probably... because I honestly think that there had to be something in this for Greg Sestero. He had to be either, he was staying with him for free, or he, was living there,
I think that's all it was Tommy was like, hey, you want to come move out to LA with me? And he's like, okay, yeah, because apparently Greg he already had a contract as a model, and he'd had that since he was 17 years old. And Greg's kind of got that, the blue steel look.
Yeah, he's a handsome dude. I could see him being an actor, And
I think that's all Tommy saw. He just saw, okay, handsome guy, he's a model, so yeah, why not,
Yeah, classically handsome.
Exactly, very...
Chiseled, good hair.
Nice beard.
Strong chin, some pecs.
Some nice...
Straight teeth, yeah.
some
fat cock. All the marks were getting checked off, baby.
This guy is a star.
He's the guy. So, Tommy and Greg actually met in an acting class in LA, where Greg learned to admire Tommy for his intensity and confidence, and the two soon became friends. So, really, Greg somehow saw this crazy guy who just going wild all the time and thought, yeah, I want to hang out with that guy. Who do you think approached each other first, actually, in reality?
Probably Tommy to him.
Okay.
Yeah,
you just saw a handsome guy and thought...
I don't. It's hard to say, man.
I mean,
I think it's weirder. It'd be weirder that Greg approaches him.
Greg kind of seemed like a shy guy.
Yeah,
even in interviews, still.
Yeah, kind of a shy, quieter guy. And Tommy maybe saw his look and was like, "Hey, man, you need to have more passion." I could totally see Tommy with his ego going up to him, trying to tell him,
give him some tips.
Oh yeah,
something.
Man, you should do it this way.
Try it this.
True.
Try it like this.
Greg, try it like this.
If you just laugh more, then you have much better performance.
Don't care. Everyone in the room, they're not there. This is for you, Greg.
So the two started to mingle, and as time went on, Wiseau eventually wrote a script for The Room in 2001, but it was actually originally intended to be used as a play. And the theme that he said that this play was about, which definitely applies to the movie, was that this play was an advisory warning about the perils of having friends.
Who hurt you, bro?
Yeah, dude. We'll talk about that more, man. But yeah, this movie is definitely based on some real shit that he's gone through. But after that, he claims to have then written a 500-page book based on the story, which I want to say, I don't believe that, but if this dude was even able to write a damn script, honestly...
There's a book somewhere.
Yeah.
Hey.
There's a book somewhere in that.
You need to cut that heat back a little bit on Tommy, okay?
Man, okay, well, one thing actually, this is a good time to bring this up. One theory is that Tommy had been in a bad car accident. Actually, that did happen, but that's one theory it has of both how he got so much money. Although $6 million seems like a lot.
A lot. That would be a huge settlement.
It
depends on the accident, though, and like who's involved.
Well, it might add up because there's no doubt about it. Tommy Wiseau is like, he's either an alien, a vampire.
He's a vampire.
Or he's had some significant brain damage. The dude is not I don't know how to put this in a nice way, but the dude is definitely kind of missing some. He's not the brightest box in the brightest tool in the box.
He's a weird dude. He's just a weird dude. He's a
man who's centuries old in a time he's not used to.
It adds up, though.
He's a fucking vampire, man.
So, after writing the play script for this, and then apparently writing a 500-page book, he then wrote it again and made the screenplay for what would become 2001's The Room. And real quick, a lot of people ask, like, why the fuck is this movie called The Room? Like, what does that have to do with anything? But we have a quote right here from Tommy Wiseau himself.
Can you please read it in Tommy's voice?
The title has a special meaning to me. It's about a special room, a special place, a private place. A room is a place where you can go to have a good time, or you can have a bad time.
Wow.
What the fuck does that mean?
That's fucking profound, dude.
That has nothing to do with this fucking movie. Matter of fact, there's not a scene where there aren't people just barging into that shit. Like, getting zucked off on the couch.
The reality is, I mean, it mostly does take place in a living room, in a bedroom.
I mean, so does every other fucking movie. In an office room, in a bathroom, like what?
Yeah, I mean,
I'll defend Tommy on a lot of things, but I don't even think he knows why it's called the fucking room. Dude.
Yeah, I think he just. I mean, I really don't know, and that's the thing. You can't call anything with him. You can't ever really track down what was going through his head. But regardless, he somehow gathered $6 million to make this movie. Just some guy. And by the way, he never been a filmmaker before. He never acted. This is his first role. He was the most inexperienced person in this movie, and he's the one fucking making it.
He literally made it just so him and Greg could have roles.
Yeah. So he's just playing it. He's not a filmmaker. He doesn't have any. I mean, he's in acting classes, but doesn't have any acting or filmmaking experience. The dude's just playing it by ear, playing it fast and loose. He's got a shit ton of money.
He was doing like crazy off the wall shit, like buying 2 sets of film and cameras to record the whole movie. Like that was just fucking like profoundly stupid on his part. Like,
yeah, he bought a 35mm film camera and an HD film camera, which, I mean, you gotta think in like 2002 when they're shooting this, it's a pretty relatively new medium, and it's like you're already. I mean, $6 million seems like a lot for The Room, but it's actually a very small budget. You still don't just buy 2 fucking cameras that are 2 totally different mediums.
Yeah, I think like one of the only movies I remember like in that time period being like on HD was like 28 Days Later.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that was like one of the only movies back then that like was recorded like that. It was really weird.
Yeah, it's a really weird decision. And in one interview, he actually talks about how he wanted to make a documentary on the difference between 35mm and HD. And he was like, I'll make a documentary and then I'll write a book about it.
Did he ever do that?
No. No, he didn't do any of that shit. He's like, one day I'll make movie about 35mm, but he wouldn't even know what to shoot that shit on.
He's gonna drop that shit next year, and like it's 15 years later, and everyone already's like completely over into HD now.
Yeah, like, we don't even make movies on film.
Yeah, we've got like 4K.
I'll tell you the positive views of mine on 35mm.
I mean, well, just real quick, it has a. Kind of, people still make a lot of movies in 35mm. Right, Most movies are still shot in 35mm.
Well, calm down.
It's the highest quality you can get.
Actually, fucking film peasant.
But that's what's interesting is we're talking about how like they made this movie just to work together, but really Greg Sestero, despite his dashingly good looks, was not even originally lined up to be in the movie. I guess, Tommy asked him to be, but Greg was like...
He declined, right?
Yeah, he declined.
Respectfully
declined, and he was involved in a lot of the producing and particularly the casting. Which when they did the casting, they were saying how they had like thousands of headshots to work through and shit. And they cast someone to play Greg's character Mark, but apparently on the first day of shooting The Room, Tommy fired that actor. So Mark was just kind of like, all right, well, or Greg was just kind of like, all right, fuck, I guess I'll just do it, you know?
Wow.
So we could have had
I didn't know that. I wonder what that was about. Why he fired that dude? He probably called him out on his bullshit.
Well, I've seen a lot of places put that like Tommy's way of doing it was very clever, and then I found out what it was. I think in reality, Tommy knew they were going to fire that guy the whole time. I think his plan was to do that to get.
It's like, I don't want this guy. I need Greg here.
That makes sense.
I need my boy in here.
Later on, I think we should have a little. Actually, what do y'all think of their relationship? Because that's a really powerful.
It's strange. It's weird.
I think the Disaster Artist really played a good view of their relationship. It was kind of like predatory.
I mean, it was 99.9% accurate.
It was, according to Tommy Wiseau. It was kind of predatory. Like Tommy's doing things and setting up these situations. Like he purposely made him like shave his beard at one point. Remember?
Yeah.
Like
really
so that he wouldn't go take another role. Like a role that maybe may or may not have perpetuated his career away from Tommy. You know, it's like he's like grooming Greg to be his.
Yeah, he really
this
wanted
whole
him,
process.
Like, you're right. The whole time.
It's a weird predatory relationship. Like Tommy needs Greg, like for some reason in his mind.
I think there was some jealousy too. Like when they got to Hollywood, Greg probably was getting some small minor roles and stuff.
He's better looking. He doesn't have that fucking accent. No one was hiring Tommy. Like,
I think Tommy should have taken some of those villain roles that I heard he was offered. Maybe he'd be a bigger actor now.
Yeah, I mean if you go on like YouTube, there's tons of videos of like Tommy like being Heath Ledger's Joker.
Oh wow!
Oh, we should have looked into some of that. I've actually seen that a while ago, but not for the research for this. But basically, despite a script that was deemed by many to be incomprehensible, several more actors being fired, and what must have just been an overall strange experience for all involved, The Room's 4-month shoot was finally ready to begin. I believe it was around 2002, since the movie came out in 2003.
Could you imagine, like, that's your first acting role?
Oof. It was like, just most people's... Well, actually, a lot of them had done, like, small stuff, like commercials.
I'm just saying, like, you coming in, like, you're fresh off the bus in Hollywood, you're like, I'm gonna fucking make it, you know, I want to... You've always dreamed of being an actor, you've you know, threw your life away, moved across country... You're broke, you get off the bus, and you...
Oh, hi, welcome to my movie set.
And it's fucking Tommy Wiseau.
You wouldn't know. You'd be like, oh, shit, I mean, they're just... This is Hollywood.
I guess it's just what it is.
Isn't that similar? That's kind of not far from what happened to the actress that played Lisa. Wasn't she like...
We're going to get into that. So let's go through... What we're going to do for this episode is we're going to go through the plot of The Room. As we go through, we're going to reveal a couple behind-the-scenes details and just kind of analyze and laugh at this weird-ass movie and understand whether or not the good times are really fucking killing us. So, the movie starts off with a weird montage of various shots of San Francisco, which really contribute to the plot, which really contribute nothing to the plot.
I was going to say, what?
They don't do anything for the plot, and he does this a lot throughout the movie. Whenever they don't know what to do,
he uses these like B-roll footage of the city just as like transition shots all through the movie.
Yeah,
and like transitions into a different part of that, like it'll be like in the house, and then it won't even be a different time of day. It'll just be like later in the house.
It was just some shots of San Francisco with some music behind it, and San Francisco really doesn't contribute anything to the plot.
It's not a character in this film.
Yeah, not at all. But there's multiple slides. We gotta talk about the credits because there's multiple slides of Wiseau's credit, including writer, line producer, whatever that is. The star, executive producer, and producer. There's a list of 3 executive producers, and then another list of just him that says producer, and then, of course, director. Alright, so after the credits, Tommy comes home to his girlfriend Lisa to give her a new dress. She puts on the new dress, when all of a sudden Danny, the weird little kid, arrives just to talk. He just comes through the door.
Yeah, but he's not a weird little kid.
Oh, yeah.
How...
Danny's like college age.
So he's at least 18, 19.
He's paying his way through because Tommy's paying Danny's way through college. So
and his apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and his apartment. He's just paying for Danny's life.
Yeah, he's paying for Danny's whole life, and Danny I guess he doesn't realize that there are boundaries. Denny. He doesn't realize that there are boundaries between people because Lisa and Tommy go upstairs.
They just go upstairs and leave him downstairs
because it's just an open door policy at that place.
It really
and
is.
everywhere because Denny then rolls up while they're having a pillow fight and doesn't even just kind of say, "Hey, what's up, guys?"
No, he fully inserts himself directly in between them.
You think he was trying to get in a three-way?
I don't think. Well, maybe because Danny does later reveal his love for Lisa
to Tommy.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah. So Danny does leave.
They kick Danny out because threes are crap.
And then the waterfall starts.
Oh yeah. Here we go.
This is the fucking music that plays for 4.5 fucking minutes. And it is the most epic fucking love ballad I've ever heard in my life.
This is the second scene of the movie.
Literally 4 minutes in, this is the start to a 4-minute sex scene.
It's just a hot sex scene
right
away with some bootleg R&B music playing in the background. This music right here, where we reveal that where we find out that Tommy Wiseau is in fact old man swole as fuck, dude. What do y'all make of that body?
Your boy's ripped. He was ripped.
Yeah, he looks like he's had hundreds of years to perfect that body.
Honestly, yeah, because he looks kind of not too old.
Like he's never.
It's like old man ripped.
Yeah.
Where everything's a little bit undefined, but it's muscle.
Mm-hmm. It's muscle. That's definitely muscle.
Let me tell you what. I wouldn't want to meet Tommy in a bathroom.
Yeah, they're going at it though. This is a pretty passionate scene where Tommy's making love to Lisa's belly button.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's oh my god. He's when he's so there's a good solid 45 seconds of him thrusting into her, and he's literally crotch in the belly button. It is the weirdest sex scene I've ever seen in the movie.
And it's straight man butt and her titties. And apparently they did this movie this is one of the first scenes they did when she got off. And apparently while they were shooting this, everyone was just looking at the actress for Lisa, Juliette Daniels, and they were just mortified by what they were seeing. Because they've all met Tommy. They're all Tommy, oh yeah, this is his sex scene. And then Tommy's just naked as fuck on top of this young girl who just wants to make it. Who drove all the way from Texas.
Just thrusting all over
dick
this
out,
young girl.
Dick out. I mean, you can't see the dick in the shot, but there's no way that dick's covered.
Yeah, on set you were seeing a dick.
Well, he had that little sack over his dick. You saw in the Disaster Artist, he had that little sack over
Do you think he had the sack in real life, though?
I hope so. God.
Okay, now it's okay, get ready, and then just takes off all his and
just takes the sack off. The
I
sack's
will say,
I can't do this with the
looking
sack.
at Tommy, you think there'd be a lot of hair.
True.
My
boy,
that dude. He seems like the type of dude that would
Who do you think shaves his ass though?
He goes to a place
where he's definitely the favorite customer.
You're my favorite customer.
So let's move along. So they wake up the next day. There's just a montage of them having sex, and they wake up the next day, and the first thing Johnny does in the morning is grab a rose and smell it. Because and then he gets up and then there's just his fucking ass just right there, and he just says, "I have to go now." There's just wake up, straight old man ass. He really thinks that he was banging, dude.
Well, bro, he had to show his ass for the movie to sell.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he really said that in an interview. Holy shit! I did that so it would sell. So Johnny leaves, and then all of a sudden it cuts to Lisa, and Lisa's mom arrives. And Lisa reveals, even despite this passionate love scene, she reveals to her mom that she does not love Johnny anymore because he's too boring, even though they are engaged to be married.
This comes out of fucking
in 2
nowhere.
weeks.
Yeah. Out of nowhere, and the mom is kind of upset, but she quickly just leaves right afterwards. I mean, she has a couple things to say. She says that he supports you, he provides for you, and darling, you can't support yourself.
Yeah. In Johnny's mind too, this is, even though this is really out of nowhere, I can see in Tommy Wiseau's mind, this is fucking the setup.
Yeah,
I'm setting this shit up. He's you see,
they all betray me. I trust no one.
Yeah,
it's about the dangers of having friends, dude. The perils of having friends. But despite this being a pretty pivotal scene in the plot, it's actually really short. You have to go see the movie But this scene is like only a minute long, meaning it's a third of the amount of time has the fucking sex scene, which contributed nothing to the fucking movie.
Yeah, but that ass sold me on the movie, man.
That's true. That is what sold it.
That's what brought us all here.
But after the mom leaves, Lisa calls a guy named Mark, played by Greg Sestero, to complain about her mom. And we find out that Mark is, in fact, Johnny's best friend, which kind of is a case of life imitating art.
True. But you don't have anything to back that up in the movie. I mean, well, towards the end of the movie, you get some shots of them playing, All-American football and stuff. But like,
oh, yeah, All-American football.
He's Johnny's best friend, but he's just some dude that walks in and out of the house like everyone else. Like,
And nobody knows what he does. But when he first gets called, it looks like he's doing something important.
He's in a car and he says he's very busy. You remember that?
I'm really busy. So they arranged to meet up the next day, and when Mark gets there, he acts like he doesn't know what's going on. But based on their body language and interaction, it's pretty obvious that they've hooked up before.
Yeah.
And we find out that again, Lisa and Johnny are arranged to be married next month. So like they're about to get married. But Lisa just tells Mark, like, fuck it, I don't give a shit. I don't love him anymore. And then they engage in another 2.5-minute sex scene
on the stairs, dude.
Yeah, very uncomfortable.
Who fucks on the stairs, man?
And,
God damn.
Well, apparently, when Greg Sestero did this shot, he was really uncomfortable, so he was actually wearing jeans in the whole thing. That's why you don't see any man ass.
Good for him, man.
Yeah, he was like, man, I'm dude.
Tommy was like, Greg, we need your ass. I just did it.
Yeah.
My ass was in every shot.
But it's good to mention throughout this whole scene that Mark is just like, oh no, this is so wrong. This is such a bad thing. And then he's just like, oh, actually, psych.
Yeah, he just totally does it. And then afterwards, he's back on his bullshit. Like, we can't do this.
That's how, like, every porno is. No, please stop. I'm a virgin.
There's some real porn vibes to, like, the first 30 minutes of this movie.
I mean, it's a real porn vibe that this second sex scene, which is actually a very dark scene. This is a scene where, like, this is bad.
This is betrayal.
Yeah, this is absolute betrayal from a best friend.
And it's shown with that same level of passion as the first sex scene and the one that plays, like, almost right after this one also, the third one.
Oh, we got more. Yeah, we got more, baby. Yeah, they glamorize it, and they play, like, some more bootleg R&B music and act like this is a good thing, but it's like...
You are my rose, you are my rose, you are my rose.
They don't turn down the sexy on this at all.
Never, dude. And then Mark's like, oh, why'd you do this? Why? We can't do this anymore, because Mark clearly just has no self-control. And
or accountability agency, anything.
Yeah, even at the end of the movie, which we'll get to, he blames everything on Lisa. But anyway, so Mark leaves, and Johnny, we cut to a scene of Johnny going up to a flower shop in a very famous scene where he goes to buy a dozen red roses.
For his girl. Anything for his girl, you know?
Yes.
Anything for my princess.
So he goes in, and this is a pretty famous scene. If you see this movie, it's going to stand up. He's like, oh, hi, doggy. And then he buys the dozen roses, and she's like, oh, I didn't know it was you, Johnny. Where it's
hi, Johnny, I didn't know it was you.
It's like, who the fuck else looks like that?
Like, this vampire head ass dude.
Yeah.
His whole Transylvania head ass.
You're my favorite customer. Goodbye. So back at home, we find out that Lisa's ordering a pizza, and this is weird. It's a half Canadian bacon and pineapple pizza, half artichoke and pesto light on the cheese.
Yeah, we really talked about that when me and you watched this together like a week ago. This was like a 40-minute conversation about this fucking pizza. How fucking weird this fucking pizza is.
Run that back one more time.
A half Canadian bacon and pineapple, half artichoke with pesto light on the cheese.
What?
Some Eastern European shit, dude.
Yeah.
That is some
Artichoke and
Eastern
pesto.
Bloc. I just came from the fucking communist downfall, and I don't know what fucking pizza is.
Oh, go light. What is this cheese? We don't get cheese in
pesto. My mother used to talk of pesto when I was a boy. When I ate the goat.
Artichoke.
Someday we'll have cheese. Son, that's my Polish accent.
One day when you grow up, you'll have cheese.
Oh, hi, Dad.
Well, I never caught that detail. I didn't.
Yeah, it's fucking strange.
So while we're waiting for Johnny to get back home, Denny rolls up again in their open door of a house once again, and he just rolls up on Lisa, and then he reveals something really weird. He says, "Oh, you look beautiful today. Can I kiss you?"
Can I kiss you?
Dude, like, you're fucking, like, her fiance is paying for your life, like everything, and
paying for your whole existence. You're trying to fucking fuck it up right now, bro.
And this is a weird subplot that actually gets repeated again later on. But like a couple other subplots of the movie, it doesn't come out to anything. There's no
it doesn't
real...
mean anything. There's no point to it. Like it's not going anywhere, so don't get too involved in it.
Which maybe it's a good time to say this is definitely a case. Like whatever, all these weird subplots and all these weird extra elements that don't really add up to anything. I think it all comes from Tommy Wiseau's actual life, like everything in this movie. He must have known like some like kid that was trying to fuck his girlfriend.
That he was paying for his life, though. I think he just added it. Maybe he was paying for something.
I think they added that in just so he looked like a great guy.
Yeah, make him look.
So
like
when
a
he
good
was
guy.
when he was a knight in Transylvania, he had a young squire he took under his wing and took care of, and had him work the stables. And he, betrayed him when he found out he was a Dark Lord of the Night.
True, because, he's been around for hundreds of years.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
this probably happened many times.
Yeah, it's probably that. It's
is a
probably
common
repeat
theme.
offense, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, eventually Denny leaves, and Johnny arrives back home with all of his flowers because he's just such a great guy. But we do find out that Johnny did not get the promotion at work. And he says, that son of a bitch told me I get a promotion in 3 months. I saved them bundles.
He's been saving them tons of money, and they're fucking sticking him on this promotion.
So can I go a little off script here for a second?
Yeah.
A lot of this has like incel type fucking themes to me. Normally in a relationship, if something's going wrong in the relationship, it's not one-sided. There's a lot of variables going into it. There's, stuff on the man side and the woman's side, stuff not working out, things they do, and that cheating is usually not just a one-sided thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Lisa's portrayed as an absolute cold-hearted bitch.
He throws in these weird fucking just little details like, look how fucking awesome this character is. There's nothing wrong with him. He's amazing. He's taking care of this little boy.
I deserve
everything. And look at this fucking bitch betraying me. It's all her fucking fault. Everything. She's even convinced my friend into betraying me. It's all her fault. It's really weird. It's just a really just like incel-y type vibe.
Well, also, it's not only just her, but it's the world because
the mom's a money hungry bitch,
and he didn't get his fucking promotion, dude.
Yeah.
And he saved them bundles.
Yeah, it's everyone else's fault, and that's just not true in real life. Like, there's some people that
sometimes it happens like
shitty
that.
lives, but there's. No one's perfect, and it's just everything. Nothing in is his fault. It's the world around him.
Yeah, he's blameless in this movie.
Yeah, absolutely blameless.
Favorite customer, great guy.
Yeah, yeah. Look how much everyone loves it. That's just shit. Look how great he is. He's bought her flowers, a dress.
Yeah, the movie starts off with him bringing her a dress. Then he just buys her flowers just at random, and actually must have bought many flowers because they had so many fucking flowers by their bed.
He bought her a car. He paid for her house.
He did everything. But when this happens, when he says that he didn't get the promotion, you can tell that Lisa's obviously disappointed. She's like, oh. But then she tries to cheer him up. She tells him that she ordered this weird fucking pizza, and they decide to have a drink. Where she brings out some scotch and vodka. Again, this is some Eastern European shit. She mixes them together. Even though Johnny says he doesn't drink.
I don't know.
He doesn't drink.
Okay, so I don't know.
Oh yeah, true. He doesn't drink. He's straight edge.
I don't know if you guys have ever drank scotch on its own or vodka on its own. Those are not two liquors you mix together and taste good.
Yeah, those are two of the hardest ones.
Yeah. You gotta be a hard ass motherfucker to drink scotch and vodka mixed together. This dude don't even drink, and he's just like, oh yeah, that is good.
Well, she gets him though. She says, "If you love me, you'll drink this." And then he says, "You're right. This does taste good, but that shit does not taste fucking good."
Here we go with this manipulative.
That's why they were so
again.
fucked up a second later.
Yeah, true. Yeah, and they get all wasted, and she's got his tie on her head for some reason because that's just what people do when you get drunk. You know how it is.
It's like that stupid fucking thing where everyone always has a lampshade on their head when they're drunk in the movie.
Yeah, true.
Shut the fuck up.
We put dumb shit on our heads when we're drinking. You know how it goes.
I put my head through the fucking wall because I'm a goddamn man.
And then this is followed by what else? Another long-ass sex scene.
Where they kind of recycle some shots from the first sex scene, too.
The exact same. And the butt shots, specifically. He's like, no, we need more ass shots in there. So, right after another long-ass sex scene, it's like another 2-minute long sex scene with the glamorized music and everything like that, which, again, this is a very manipulative sex scene because she's fucking his friend, but still, nonetheless, every sex scene is glamorized. So
this is a total of 10 minutes of sex scenes and 30 minutes of movie.
It's
about,
really like a Showtime
like
softcore porn, like, for the first, like, 30 minutes.
Absolutely.
Plot-wise, yeah, man.
Yeah, it has no plot. Like, you know,
Well, this is when it's about to get real dark, when the movie just cuts from a sex scene to, again, Lisa hanging out at home when her mom comes over, and Lisa informs her that, I got the results of the test back. I definitely have breast cancer.
Hold on, but there's no, like, lead up to this. They're just sitting there talking, having a normal conversation, and the mom just drops this fucking bomb out of nowhere.
And very kind of lackadaisical.
yeah,
You know?
and even Lisa's reaction is like super.
You-
like,
you
She says,
know-
I'm sure, the mom says, I'm sure I'll be alright. And, Lisa just kind of passes it off.
Yeah, she's like,
Well,
yeah, don't worry, it's fine.
The way she brings it up is she's just like, they're talking about money or something. She's like, I won't live forever. She's like, Mom, stop that. She's like, no, I got the test results back. I definitely have breast cancer. You'll be okay, Ma.
And that's
Ma.
it. And that's it. And then they get right back to the bullshit. Lisa tells the mom that Johnny didn't get the promotion, that he got drunk, which is all true. And then she says, oh, and he hit her. He hit me.
So she's really just going off the rails.
But the mom doesn't even really care. The mom's like, oh, well, you still need him for financial security.
Yeah, you can't live on your own.
Yeah, you better
Who
take
cares
them
if he
beats.
hits you? Yeah,
Yeah.
like, you just
I'll
fucking
see
hit
no
you one
bruise,
time.
bitch.
The mom.
Doesn't she even say, like, she's like, look, you're I didn't love your dad.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, look,
Oh, yeah. She's like, I didn't love your father either.
like, you know.
Which sucks. It's like, okay, well, I don't think that they're married anymore. Unless the dad's dead, which probably he got fucking dick cancer or some shit.
Shit.
But again, she's just demonizing Johnny. Everyone is up against Johnny. They're lying about him hitting. He got fired. He's drinking now. He got tempted into drinking. What a piece of shit. And then we cut to another scene, just back at their apartment where Lisa and Johnny aren't there. This is Lisa and Johnny's apartment, but just they're not there. And randomly, some weird dude and some girl just roll up in their apartment. We haven't met these people at all.
New characters for some reason.
Yeah, their names are Mike and Michelle. And they get on the couch and they start eating up. They start like hooking up, and at one point he says something. He brings out like a box of chocolates, and he's like, chocolate is a symbol of love.
This is really stupid. It's like they have this whole like. I don't know. It's something about the dude Mike that I did like.
He's
the
just
facial expressions.
He's
and, like,
chomping on the chocolate.
Yeah,
It's just like.
I think he's meant to be like comic relief in the movie.
But it's horrible.
Yeah,
Dude.
it's really bad.
And he'll pop up again later.
So anyway, she starts zucking him off. Mark,
look at this dude. Look at his fucking
his fucking
dude.
face, man. He just leans back and his eyes get all wide, and he does
Some amazing facial acting from
like
your boy Mike.
if you've ever like made like an elephant noise with your face where you do like that's literally the
Yeah.
face he fucking makes.
And you can tell he thinks he's fucking like Adam Sandler making that face, dude. He
yeah.
thinks he's really going at it.
I'm really tearing this shit up. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
famous after this.
Yeah, MeUndies.
So then Lisa and the mom roll up because I guess they went out somewhere.
went shopping.
Yeah, they went shopping and they come back.
With
and
Tommy's money, presumably.
probably.
Yeah, those fucking bitches.
In the middle of these two random people fucking, and then it's portrayed as if it's just funny. They're like, "Oh, sorry, mom," and then just go off away. They just they walk on out.
Yeah, the mom's like, well, who were they? She's like, oh, those are my friends. They come here to study.
Yeah, it's like, oh, study.
Yeah.
Oh, and then remember this. Then Mike, the dude with the dumb face, comes back.
Dumb face Mike.
He's like,
Dumb face Mike. Yeah.
Yeah, fucking dumb face Mike, you fucking bastard.
He comes back after they both left, and he's like,
I
all
forgot
up
my
on-
book.
He says, I forgot my book, and then he grabs his underwear, which we'll come back to a little bit later.
Well, the mom grabs it. She's like, "What is this?"
Claudette grabs his arm as he's like grabbing the underwear, and then he's like, "Oh!" Makes another stupid ass face,
Yeah.
and then
and they play some like doofy music where it's like doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Yeah.
And then Lisa has like that like so
Every
funny.
scene with that guy just really kind of aggravates me a little bit. Actually,
He's the worst dude in this
under
movie.
my skin.
So they're hanging out, and then Denny rolls up to do what regular standard human beings do, and asks to borrow some sugar, some flour, and a half a stick of butter.
He's making cookies, guys. Come on.
They have cookies.
Another interaction with Denny that we do not need. Doesn't, doesn't play any.
Again, so can we talk about his name?
Denny.
Denny. Denny.
Like the franchise.
Like, that's the most American thing ever, man.
He probably wrote this whole script in a Denny's and was like, I don't know, a Denny. Because all the other names are like Johnny, Mark, Mike, Peter. It's just all these basic ass names, and he's like, I need another guy name, another men/guy's name to talk about later.
Save that.
And he's like, oh, I know, Denny. So
after my favorite restaurant.
And we find out now that Johnny had at one point wanted to adopt Denny because, again, Johnny's just such a great guy. He's paying for his college. He wanted to adopt him. He's just the best guy ever, man. But you know what? All that nice stuff that Johnny did couldn't protect Denny from the cold, hard streets. In the next scene, when we cut to the top of the roof,
where Denny's just like chilling
bouncing
with a basketball
on a roof.
Oh, yeah, who's playing with a basketball on the roof?
Which is really dangerous if you think about it. Like, what happens if you drop that off the roof?
You could kill somebody.
Killing some homeless dude, man.
But he's just chilling on the roof, and then out of nowhere, just some fucking tough, like, the only way you could describe him is a tough guy. Yeah. He's just completely portrayed as a typical tough guy.
He's got some jogging pants on, a wife beater.
A Russian tough guy.
Yeah, I was about to say a Russian tough guy.
Very Eastern European thug vibe.
The guy who killed Tommy's mom in fucking Poland. When they were living in a fucking Connex box.
This is how we got payback, because Chris R is attacking Denny.
Yeah, can we get a hand for Chris R? Man?
Yeah. and the
where's my fucking money, Denny?
It is so weird because Denny looks at him. He's like, "Oh, hey, Chris R." Have you ever in your life looked at someone and been like, "Oh, hey, Mark W"? Like, what?
Dude, in the most intense acting we get in this movie.
Yeah,
where's my fucking money, Denny?
Chris R is by far the best actor in this movie.
Honestly, yeah, dude.
Where's my fucking money, Denny?
I just need 5 minutes. Well, you ain't got 5 fucking minutes.
Yeah, I even like Zac Efron's portrayal of Chris R
in the Disaster Artist.
Like, he's really coming in hot as fuck, dude. Like, out of 10.
Denny's like legit crying. Because he puts a gun to his head.
It goes 0 to 100. He starts asking him for, apparently, so Denny owes Chris R money
for drugs.
We don't know at first. We get that in a second.
For
but yeah, like for just drugs.
What kind of drugs? It doesn't matter.
You're not my fucking mother.
Denny's voice, man.
I hate Denny, dude. So Johnny and Mark roll up in the middle of again, Chris R attacking Denny with a gun
to his fucking head.
Denny and Mark just roll up and just
grab his
guns, just grab him, and then take him away off to jail.
They take him to the.
They literally say, "We're taking him to jail."
Just walk him, and the police are like, "You're our favorite citizen." And real quick note, more about Chris R. Chris R. was played by a man named Dan.
Go ahead, pronounce that. Go ahead.
Gangijian, who was actually in the 2002 Winter Olympics, competing for Armenia. I forget. I think it was like bobsledding.
Bobsledding for Armenia.
So again, like I was saying, this is literally some dude that fucking killed his mother back in the homeland.
Yes. Oh my god, dude.
Oh man.
So then, out of nowhere, Lisa and Mom roll up.
Everybody's just on the roof after this.
Lisa and Mom roll up. Lisa's crying frantically. We found out that Denny bought some drugs, but they're asking about it, and he's like, "But things got mixed up." And the mom is freaking the fuck out when she didn't even know Denny.
They're really fucking.
What kind of drugs?
They're really having a cow. Like they're on his case.
Like, why were you doing drugs?
They're really like tag teaming, berating him.
Like,
I will say, I was annoyed by that.
Yeah, Denny's reaction to it. Stop ganging up on me! Like his voice cracks and everything. And I could imagine him like screaming at his mom and dad in real life like that. Like it was a good scene.
You're not my fucking mother. mother.
What kind of drugs did you take? What the hell is wrong with you? Yeah. Oh yeah, you're not my fucking mother. Stop ganging up on me.
Some great lines.
It makes sense though, because when Mom and Lisa are going in on him, I'm thinking everything Denny says.
Yeah, get off his case. Like,
yeah, who the fuck are y'all, dude?
It doesn't matter. He's going to jail now.
We're just sure that everything's fine. The dude had a gun. I mean, that's what they disarmed him, so he's useless now.
I don't know, man. He's definitely coming back for Denny's fucking ass.
No, he's locked up forever. Johnny took him in, dude.
True.
Okay?
But
True.
again, just like the breast cancer, this plot point is never revisited
That's
again.
it. It's
Hold on, before we
right
leave,
there.
Johnny comes back within like 10 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you couldn't even walk from the roof
The
and
jail-
get to the elevator in the time it gets... Johnny comes back with dropping this dude off. Like
They
he
live with
literally
the
just
police officer. He's
threw
in the
him
building.
at the jail.
The jail's on the 3rd floor.
Yeah, it's
Duh.
fucking crazy, man.
It's the apartment jail.
Yeah, of course.
And he has that touching scene where he tells Denny how much he loves him.
And then, and also another interesting thing is this is the first time we actually see Johnny and Mark hanging out because that's it, just out of
Before then,
nowhere.
you don't even see them together before then.
Exactly, and then right after that scene, it cuts to another random scene of Lisa and Mark talking again, and Lisa still is telling Mark that she has strong feelings for him. And then it cuts to another scene randomly of Johnny on the roof with the famous lines, "I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not." Oh, hi, Mark. Where Mark is just on the roof for some reason playing with a football. Like,
That's where the roof is where they go for recreation, smoke doobies, bounce balls.
I actually kind of like that.
You know, you would chill on the roof. If
Yeah,
you
I'd
were,
vibe to
you know,
that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, like we said, the ball bouncing thing is kind of dangerous.
And even more with a football, because in this scene, Mark is a football. You can at least bounce a basketball.
And he's alone. Like, what are you just tossing this shit up in the sky and catching it? Like,
Yeah, but it's in this scene where Johnny explains to Mark that Lisa had lied about him hitting her, which again, that was a plot point that was so thinly introduced. And just out of nowhere, we're like, oh, I guess he knows about this. And Mark asked Johnny if women cheat like men do, because Mark's going through it too. So they're both kind of going through it. And there's kind of this dramatic irony where we know that Mark is cheating on Lisa, but still nonetheless, these two friends are talking. And this is a weird question, actually. When y'all notice that? He says, do you think women cheat like men do?
yeah, I thought that was weird.
Because men just always, I mean...
Just out here cheating.
Yeah. And this is another bit of the dramatic irony when Johnny's like, maybe you should have a girl, Mark. And then he's like, maybe I have one already. Fuck, dude.
Just taking stabs at your boy.
Yeah,
just throwing subs. Like,
And then Mark tells him that fucking story.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I used to know a girl,
Yeah.
man, had a dozen guys.
No, I used to know a girl that lived on Guerrero Street. She used to have a dozen guys. One night, one of the guys found out about him, beat her so bad she ended up in the hospital.
And then Johnny just laughed.
What a funny story, Mark.
What a funny story, Mark.
Yeah, this bitch got put in a hospital. It's
Yeah,
hilarious.
what?
So, yeah, Mark's going through, he's telling weird-ass stories, and he leaves, and then all of a sudden, Denny rolls up onto the roof to tell Johnny that he's in love with Lisa, his fucking fiancée. So this plot point is revisited at least as one other time. But Johnny's cool with it for some reason.
He's like, hey, man, that's how it goes sometimes.
Okay,
I know she's
like,
a babe.
She's like your mother.
But they talk about some other girl. Isn't they talking about some girl that Denny is actually dating?
Yeah, that's awkward.
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Dude, so much weird shit
Who
in
has
this fucking
time for
movie.
this?
So,
Yo,
and
you think Denny's fucking?
Nah, man. I think he was trying to get some tips. I think that's why he ran in the
Started
room.
selling
I think
drugs.
He was trying to, yeah. What kind of drugs? We didn't get those answers. Those were good
must
questions.
be something
they were
serious
asking.
for someone to pull out a fucking gun.
Probably like
Or-
triple C.
It's some dumb shit.
It's like Adderall.
Yeah, because Chris R. was what's my fucking money? So then another random cut. Let's continue on. So another random cut to Lisa hanging out with Michelle from earlier, her friend, and Lisa's telling her that Johnny got drunk and that he hit her and that he's just a piece of shit. And then she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm cheating on Johnny. I don't have any more feelings for Johnny." And Michelle's she just awkwardly says, "Something awful is going to happen to Johnny."
Yo, nobody gives a fuck that Lisa's getting beat in this fucking
Yeah,
movie.
no one. Everybody.
Which, I mean, it's a lie, but still, no one's like, oh my god, why did he hit you? They're like, shut the fuck up.
Like, yo, you need this dude.
I mean, I guess I don't want to say it's a good thing because it is a lie, but it's like, man, y'all should at least take this a little bit more seriously.
Yeah.
So then Johnny rolls up and Michelle leaves, and Johnny confronts Lisa about her claims that she hit her, and then Lisa just reveals, she's like, well, I might change my mind. And then he's like, what are you talking about? And she says, quote, women change their minds all the time. That's some incel shit, dude. Writing that line, that's some real incel shit.
Yeah, you tell me, women joke me all the time for being 5 foot on fucking dating websites and tell me to kill myself.
You think
Is that okay?
You think that's okay?
Damn, dude, definitely strong. So many incel vibes right now. So, Johnny's asking for answers. He's like, why did you lie about this? And she doesn't, can we say they have bad communication right now? Because she's just like, well, maybe I'll change my mind. It's like, damn, where the fuck is all this coming from?
What's going on?
And I feel him when he's like, you're tearing me apart, Lisa.
This bitch is fucking psycho. She's just telling people. She's telling people that you hit her, and he's like, "It's okay. I still love you."
Oh yeah,
because she walks away. She's like, "Why are you being so hysterical?" After he says, "You're tearing me apart," and then she storms off and goes up the stairs, and he's like, "It's okay, Lisa. I still love you."
I mean. It'd be like, on some real talk, it'd be like that sometimes with people, you know? Sometimes abusive relationships.
Love is blind.
Yeah. Love is blind, yeah.
Love is blind. You know what they say.
Love is blind.
So then we cut to another scene of Johnny randomly rolling up in an alleyway to hang out with Mike, the guy from earlier who's fucking Michelle with the stupid... Oh, yeah, what was his name?
Oh, yes, the Dumbface Mike.
Dumbface Mike. Where Mike tells a story of the situation from earlier about how he had left his underwears.
They're really just filling out time.
No, not underwears, me undies.
Oh, yeah, me undies.
So, the other day, we were in your apartment.
The whole time making these dumbass faces.
Hooking up, and Lisa and Claudette walked in, and I got dressed in a hurry, and I forgot me undies.
That's a great story, Mike.
Don't forget that they're like in this alleyway, I guess, to toss the ball around,
like Americans do.
Like real Americans do. And of course, Denny rolls up. So we got Mike, Denny, Johnny just passed around the football.
And then Mark pulls up.
And then Mark rolls up because he just heard some shit going down, too.
No, we did have kind of an explanation for this. If they all live in the same apartment building, then maybe,
Yeah, they never say why they all are always there, but that makes sense that they're there.
If they all live in the same apartment building.
But why are they hooking up in Johnny's apartment?
That's
where you fuck.
Make sense. Yeah, that would.
Maybe they only had money for one, room set.
Yeah, that's exactly.
So they were just like, all right, we're just gonna have you fucking here.
And then it's exactly what it is.
It's so weird, man.
So the three are playing are playing ball by a trash can.
They're just passing the ball around.
And Mark, because Mark is such a tough guy, he accidentally pushes Mike down. He falls on the trash can, and they ask if he wants to see a doctor.
This is also set up
like a bump, like anyone like. No harder than you accidentally bumping into someone in the street, and this grown man falls down.
Dumbface Mike is fucking
and is limping and has to be carried away by Mark.
I believe this is set up. I think this is some Tommy Wiseau setup. I think we need this scene to see how strong. Yeah, how strong Mark is. So later in the movie, when they have the confrontation, you see that.
Yeah, but Tommy whips his ass.
Exactly.
But he's got.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tommy's such a badass.
He's been just kind of keeping everything, but
don't touch me, motherfucker.
So we make another weird cut to a totally different scene, where we cut to the mom and Lisa again, with the mom complaining about how Johnny won't pay the down payment on her friend's new spot because everyone just fucking using Johnny, right? And then Lisa reveals to the mom that she had sex with somebody else. But unbeknownst to them, while they're having this conversation, Johnny's like right over there by the stairs listening. So he literally hears Lisa say that she had sex with somebody else.
If you were cheating on somebody, would you really be like, yeah, I fucked with them in the same earshot of you?
I don't know if she knew. Well,
How do you
She
not
knew
know
he was home.
Johnny's home?
Yeah, true.
You're just spilling the tea on yourself, like, in your house?
She's not whispering it.
No.
Yeah, I fucked someone, Mom.
But after this, the mom and Lisa leave, and then Johnny comes out, and he states that he's going to show them by recording everything. Even though, dude, she just said...
you just got all the proof you need. You don't need a recording.
I'll show them.
But then
I'll
he sets
start
up
recording everything,
and then he sets up a recorder on the answering machine, which I guess will just record conversations automatically because he's just a fucking whiz hacker or some shit.
Yeah, I mean he saved the bank boatloads of money. Duh.
That's true. Bundles. I saved them bundles. That's
So
true.
he's got like a shit ton of tapes to just keep. the logistics of this don't make sense. But I don't even want to get into that right now.
So Johnny is distraught, and he goes out to hang out with his friend Peter, which is just a new friend we find out who is he's kind of like a dorky guy, but he's a psychologist, conveniently. Mm-hmm. So Johnny is talking about his problems with Lisa to Peter about all the issues, and Peter tells Johnny to confront her. He's like, yeah, maybe we should talk to her about it.
Good advice.
And then, of course, as per usual, Mark just rolls up out of nowhere to them just hanging out. Doesn't knock. Just kind of walks up.
In, yeah.
I think we're at Peter's apartment now. Or actually, are we
I think we're still in Johnny's apartment. We're just... I don't know, dude. Like... That shot is weird where they're chilling and Peter's like sipping out of the glass. Like, that doesn't look like any other shot in the rest of the house. So, yeah, I'm not really sure.
So... when Mark comes up, he's obviously going through it too. He reveals that he has a girl, but she's married. Again, a lot of dramatic irony going on. And they're all complaining about confusing women and all this type of shit.
Is this the day they're in tuxedos yet?
No, not yet. Not yet.
No.
It's so... This plot, like... Sorry if we sound like we don't really know what's going on.
It's all over the place.
It's so fucking hard to follow this fucking movie, dude. There's so much shit. So many weird cuts and just nothing makes sense. But it's amazing.
So later on, Peter finds Mark hanging off the roof smoking weed, and Peter asks to know about it. Mark gets angry after Peter tells him to stop smoking weed, and then Mark gets even more pissed when Peter reveals that he knows, because he's a fucking psychologist he knows that Mark and
Something's going on with them.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, straight up, he's like, you and Lisa are having an affair, and Mark fucking spazzes, dude.
The sick thing about it is because, like, when he confronts him about smoking the weed and shit, he's like, it chills me out. But he is not chill in this scene.
Exactly.
He's like...
because then after that, he fucking almost throws him off the roof.
He's hanging your boy, like, off the roof.
Dude, you gotta try a different strain, bro. That's not your strain. That's not your strain.
Dude, even he's hanging him off the roof, but it's kind of weakly because even Peter is like, yeah, what the fuck are you doing?
Stop it.
What are you doing?
And then get up, and he's like, oh man, are you okay? And Peter's like, it's fine. Like, dude, you just fucking tried to kill me.
You just tried to put me off the roof.
Any of y'all do that to me, I'm at least going home. I didn't talk to y'all afterwards. Instead, they keep talking, and Peter tells him, like, straight up, which this kind of adds up. He's like, yo, Lisa is a straight up sociopath, which kind of makes sense considering all this shit. Yeah. So then we cut to a whole other different scene with a whole different tone, just like every fucking cut in this movie, to the day of wedding pictures with Johnny, Denny, Peter, and Mark. And I just want to say that, like, really, they talk about wedding pictures, but there's no...
They never take pictures.
They never take them. They just hang out, and they agree to go outside and play some football while fully dressed in tuxedos.
Normally, you take wedding pictures the day of the wedding. You don't
get
fully dressed up in suits a week before the wedding and
to take pictures.
Because, like, if you're going to rent tuxedos, you're not going to do it twice.
Yeah, what?
But despite that, they just go outside and play football while wearing tuxedos, which this is a pretty famous scene because it's like, why the fuck are they just playing football in tuxedos? But when people asked Tommy Wiseau about this, he said, playing football without gear is fun. The idea is to have fun. I suggest anyone to try it.
Hey, yeah, he's not lying. It's fun.
Yeah. And then we skipped again to another 3-minute long sex scene of Mark and Lisa fucking banging it out. Oh, yeah.
Wait, there's another sex scene with Mark and Lisa?
Another sex scene, which again, this follows just after Mark and Johnny hanging out. There's no real development of darkness, of the real plot here. It only kind of spurts out at random moments. But after that, we just get a bunch of fucking B-roll, followed by a minute of Johnny and Mark passing around a football at the park.
Yeah, they're playing around. Now we're playing up the Johnny and Mark friendship a little bit. An hour into the movie, you see them tossing a football around and jogging.
if they'd established this earlier on, it'd be a lot more tragic, this whole situation. We see Mark fucking Johnny's girlfriend before we even see them hanging out.
Yeah, if like literally that though, if they literally just take those scenes of them playing and put them before you see Lisa and them fucking, it changes the it hits so much harder when Lisa and them are like fucking.
Oh, but wait, right after that scene of them throwing out a football, it cuts to another scene of Mark and Lisa hooking up at Johnny's house. But Lisa's friend Michelle comes in and catches them.
She walks in the middle of them, kind of fucks up the moment.
And they're kind of laughing about it. Even Michelle's kind of made up to be this good character. She's still kind of like, what are you doing? Oh my god. Although she does tell Lisa, she's like, Lisa, this is really bad. But Lisa's just like, I don't care.
I don't give a shit.
I don't give a shit about anything.
I'm getting fucked.
And then we cut back again. It's kind of like fucking just one after another. It cuts to another scene of Johnny and Mark going out for a run and shit. So they just go like, all right, one scene Mark fucking Lisa, then one scene Mark hanging out with Johnny, and there's no, in all those scenes you don't get any sense of there being any kind of underlying tension. But then we cut to a random surprise birthday party for Johnny with all of his friends. So we've got Mark.
She thought of everything.
We've got Mark, Lisa, pretty much everyone except for Peter, which we'll explain in a minute. But while everything is happening, at some point, Lisa like tells everyone to like go to another room or something.
She's like, "Hey, you guys, it's getting hot in here. We should all go outside."
Okay, we'll all just have a hive mind and
just all go outside. So everyone goes outside, and Lisa's like, "Ha!" She hangs back with Mark.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't she? She literally says something like,
"We'll just do it right here."
We should, yeah.
I tricked them.
Yeah.
He's like, he's like, everyone's right there, and she's like, yeah, but they're outside.
So they're she gets people to go outside. They start about to hook up again. Mark's like protesting it, but he's just about to do it again anyway. But fucking, and then unnamed friend walks in on them.
Yeah,
and
this
he
unnamed
starts spazzing.
This unnamed guy who has no character development. We've never seen him throughout the entire movie. He just rolls up and he's freaking the fuck out on them. And I'm thinking, like, dude, I don't know you. Like, you talk. It's like when someone fucks with like your best friend or your brother or something like that. It's like, only I can fuck with them like that.
Fall back, bro. You're coming in kind of hot right now.
But apparently, the reason for this is because this actor, this random character, those lines were originally Peter's, the psychologist friend, but that actor had to leave the movie shoot early because of other engagements. So they just got
gave
some
it
other
to some other dude. They just gave some random character some lines, and he goes in on these lines. He really he plays up his fucking 10 lines that he has in the movie.
One of
Probably
the better
because he hasn't seen the rest of the fucking movie, and he was like, "Oh, this is a legit film."
Yeah, true. Actually,
you're really tearing up our group of friends.
Honestly, he gets the fucking nod for this one, man.
Yeah, he's right. He's right.
Him and Chris R, dude, all the best actors only have like 5 seconds of playtime. But anyway, so the party's going seemingly just fine, and then randomly out of nowhere, Johnny's just standing up and he's like, ha, and then he just randomly announces that he and Lisa are expecting children. Although later, Lisa reveals to some other people, random friend and Michelle, that that's all a lie. They're like,
Michelle's like, "Are you serious? Is there a baby involved now?" And Lisa says, "No, I just told Johnny that to make things interesting."
Yeah, to make it interesting. She really is a sociopath.
What?
And then we just cut to the middle of the party where Mark confronts Lisa about the pregnancy, and Lisa slaps him. She's pissed off at Mark now, and then Mark and Johnny fucking fight. But then the fight stops. The fight, it's like, it's all good, and everyone starts chilling again. The party continues.
Well, Johnny says a line during the fight. He's like, "You think I'm stupid or something? You think..." It makes you think that, like, he knows something's going on.
Mark, I think you're thinking about the second fight.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
yeah, which is about to happen. So the party goes on as if nothing fucking happened, as if the fucking surprise birthday party guy didn't just get in a fight with his best friend. And everyone's, like, chilling and dancing, and Lisa and Mark are like dancing sensuously when Johnny again confronts them, and he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
They're like slow dancing together, rubbing butts and shit.
And Mark says something. He's like, "What are you, fucking stupid, man?
Like,
you still don't know?
What planet are you on?" Like, yeah,
which is a great line. I think that was a real, genuine Greg Sestero.
Very meta.
Yeah, very meta.
Is this when he says, "Just take your comments and keep them in your pocket"?
Yes, I think so. And then Johnny says, "Don't touch me, motherfucker.
Don't touch me, motherfucker."
And then they fight, and it's it feels like it's clear that Johnny now knows about the affair. But then later on, after the party, Johnny is freaking out about the affair again, and then Lisa answers a phone call from Mark. Then she says,
I'm done with this dude.
I'm done with this guy. And she even says, oh, hi, Mark. And then he's like, come on up. Or she's like, I'm done with this guy. And he's like, you just come on up. I want your body.
Yeah, leave him alone. That guy's a loser.
So there was just an interaction where he definitely knows that they're having an affair. She says, hi, Mark, on the phone. And then she goes up and leaves the apartment. And then Johnny still isn't really convinced.
He has to check the tape. He's got footage, man. He's like, you know what, let me check these tapes.
So then he checks the tapes for some reason and overhears it when it's like, dude, you just heard the whole fucking conversation.
You just heard them, saw them. Like, this isn't news, bro. But the bomb dropped. This is it for Johnny.
This is the final nail in the coffin, and he starts going through it hard about the breakup. And
destroys his house, his apartment. He's breaking shit.
Throws the TV out the fucking window.
Oh yeah, the way it lands.
Like, wow, how irresponsible.
Yeah. It's kind of like, this is the Citizen Kane shot. This movie is considered the Citizen Kane of bad movies, and there's a famous scene in Citizen Kane where this is happening. I think that's what he was kind of trying to channel. But eventually, he's just fucking rummaging around the room, and he lands down on the ground. He's got like a fucking... like a red sheet, and he's like grabbing his dick.
It's the red dress.
Oh, the red dress. That's right. And he's like humping, and he's like,
yeah, he's humping, and he's thinking about Lisa and the times they had and the betrayal.
Oh, there's a montage, which that's some sad stuff, man. That's how it be.
That's how it be.
That is how it be. You know, he's like, but then the next thing, this is what you don't do when you're going through from a breakup. He grabs a fucking gun out of nowhere and blows his fucking head off,
what
man.
Does he say?
Goodbye, world.
Goodbye, world. He kills himself, and Denny, Mark, and Lisa all come up. They hear the noise. They find Johnny's dead body, and they all start crying. But, of course, since Mark is completely blameless and a great guy, he blames the whole thing on Lisa.
He turns on Lisa. He rounds on Lisa. Like,
yeah.
Bitch, this is your fault. You did this shit.
Well,
I just called you upstairs.
Right after Denny's screaming, and he's like, don't touch him! You did this to him!
Denny knows.
Yeah.
The whole thing, dude. And that's the fucking movie.
There it is.
There it is. So... So, let's get into a couple other things. Like, after this movie came out, the only promotion for this movie, which cost a lot of money, the only promotion that was done was a giant billboard that was posted up in L.A., that is just his face looking all creepy. It says The Room, and it cost him $5,000 a month to keep it up there, and it was up for 5 years.
God.
That's a lot of fucking money, dude. Oh, and the billboard had his phone number on it, his actual phone number. So you would call Tommy Wiseau, and he would just be like, oh, hi. And what if he just answered and he was just like, hello? Like, bitch, you told me to fucking call you.
Did you see movie yet?
And kind of the rest is history. Like, it took a few years, and eventually it caught on. It caught on where people were showing it at midnight screenings across the country. I'm sure at first people saw it and were like, what the fuck is this? But people, word of mouth spread, and now it's the enormous cult classic that it is.
People go and see it, know every fucking line. They throw spoons on the stage.
They play football in the aisle.
It's a cult. It's a bona fide cult classic.
Yeah, so let's kind of have our role of the where are they now. So Greg Sestero has been in a couple other movies since then. Actually, before this, it's worth mentioning. He before he did The Room, he was in a couple episodes of Days of Our Lives, the soap opera, and he was even on. He was a side character in Robin Williams' Patch Adams.
Hey, he was in Patch Adams.
Yeah, so he breathed the same air as Robin Williams, dude. Yeah. But since The Room, he's been in a couple other movies, including Dude Bro Party Massacre 3.
True.
Best Friends Volume 1 and 2, which were actually done alongside Tommy Wiseau, and also the upcoming Big Shark, which was also done by Tommy Wiseau. Wow. Yeah, and these are all pretty relatively recent movies. They're kind of having a renaissance together.
I remember him promoting Best Friends movie, like when this was all, when Disaster Artist was coming out. It was like supposed to be the next movie that they were doing.
I think to them, the Disaster Artist was kind of like a way to get back into it. It's like, we're still balling.
That's a new entry point,
So Juliette Daniels, the actress that played Lisa, she had hated for this movie for years, and for a few reasons. I think not only because it's a bad movie, but also those sex scenes are so, they do not look good for her.
Nah.
So she feels like it had a huge negative effect on her acting career, but eventually she kind of started to embrace it. She was like, fuck it, I'll do it. And she actually has a website. She does her own thing. She runs a graphic design business with her husband in San Antonio, Texas. She's been in a couple of other small movies, including Ghost Shark 2, Urban Jaws.
Urban Jaws?
Ghost Shark 2. Urban Jaws.
Damn, we should have watched that. Why didn't we watch that?
Yeah, we could have another ep on just the crew of the cast of this movie.
The spoiler cast coming up soon.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm kind of exhausted on these watching weird films.
Yeah, we can.
For fucking weeks.
After Takashi Miike and this.
We don't need to watch anything else.
I don't know, man. I think I got a little room for Ghost Shark 2 or Urban Jaws.
So the mom, or Lisa's mom, was played by Carolyn Minot, who was a 66-year-old woman who did this movie with no acting experience prior or after this movie. So this is just a random thing that she did.
Remember when Grandma was in that weird movie?
Seriously, although, interestingly enough, Michelle, who was Lisa's friend, was played by a woman named Robin Paris, who later created a whole TV show called The Room Actors, Where Are They Now? Which, I mean, we could have watched, but that would have been fucking hours and hours and more shit.
I don't even understand how that's a whole show about where some actors are from one movie.
It's a whole series, but it's about their fictional lives. But she directed it. And she's actually, she's gone to college and for filmmaking, and she's won several awards for her directorial endeavors. She's doing the best.
Wait. You said it's about the fictional lives, like the characters?
The fictional lives, but apparently on the IMDb, it does list all those actors as being in the show. So I'm not entirely sure. I mean, we haven't looked up that.
It's like, hey, what happened with Michelle and fucking Mike and Dumbface Mike? What are they doing now?
Well, it's called The Room Actors. Where are they now? So it's hard to say. But yeah, Michelle's actually doing just fine. One of the more funny ones was Mike Holmes, who plays Mike in the movie. When we looked up his IMDb, we were like, okay, what has he done? And we saw, he was on The Walking Dead. We were like, okay.
Yeah, nice.
Nice. And then we were like, oh, wait.
He's probably a zombie.
Yeah, and then sure enough.
Or bad guy number 2 with his brains blown out.
Yeah, exactly. So, but he was a zombie on The Walking Dead. Really, Mike Holmes, sorry, man, you are not...
he might have got that lunge bump though if he did a lunge in a scene. That's a big pay raise for those guys.
Really? I mean,
yeah, hell yeah. The lunge bump is real.
There's also a video game YouTube show called the Tommy Wiseau Show, which is just weird as fuck. It's basically about an alien that plays video games with Tommy. And when Kate said, when you told me about this, I was like, I didn't know Tommy Wiseau was actually good at video games.
Yeah, he's not.
No, he's just trying his best.
It's like it's probably like 2009 through like 2010 era. So it's got like older games on it, and you can clearly tell it hasn't aged well. But like he's like playing like Dead Island. And like he can't move the character, so he's just standing there staring up at the sky while zombies eat him. And he's just like, alien, what do I do? And the guy's like, the dude's like just like losing. He's like, fucking move! Like, what are you doing?
Move, Tommy.
Tommy, move!
I remember the first episode. It literally just starts off with him like, "This is not my house." He's on a spaceship.
Some great actors.
Yeah.
This is not my house.
He also he's been in a couple. I know he's worked with Tim and Eric a little bit. He played Pigman on Tim and Eric. Weird sketch.
Pigman. I'll be back in 2 minutes.
It's a really weird sketch.
With Jessica Alba.
With Jessica Alba, yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah, it's got straight up Jessica Alba just co-acting alongside your boy Tommy Wiseau. Tommy Wiseau also has a whole website. So real quick, let's have a little moment.
Oh yeah, we gotta check out his website real quick.
So we had to check out Tommy Wiseau's straight up website, and the first thing you see when you get here are the TW boxers, baby.
The 3-pack. He's got a 3-pack sale in the TW boxers.
Yeah, y'all joking, but I'm ordering some tonight because it comes with a DVD.
Yeah, pretty much everything on this website comes with a DVD. And also, everything is it's such a good deal, man. These boxers worth $21, cut down to $16.99.
Well, it's a sale.
It's a sale. Everything. TW tank tops. Look at these tank tops right here. They don't even have They don't even say it. There's nothing on here that makes you think.
Why
he's
is
a
that
Tommy
tank
Wiseau.
top half off that guy?
Yeah, right here. Yeah.
What the fuck is
And he's
going
got
on, though?
and he's got a fucking star tattoo on his nipple.
He's got the star logo of the tank top tatted on his neck.
Yeah, you think that's real?
I don't know.
Tommy
man.
paid some dude to get his logo tatted on his nip.
So let's go down. Scroll down a little bit. It says,
He's got fucking watches, bro.
"Do we want to shop women/ladies or shop men/guys?"
I like the men/guys.
men/guys. Are we men or guys? What do we go? What should?
We're just a couple guys.
Just a couple guys.
Like
guys.
like guys sometimes. Oh, we got thongs on here, or not thongs, but
No,
straight up.
those are briefs, bro.
Yeah, briefs.
What the fuck?
Shit, sir.
A free doggy.
Oh shit, a free doggy, dude.
What?
Yo, hold up. Look at this. It was $17.99. Now it's $0.
No, it's free. Doggy toy from the room.
Oh shit, you can buy his wristband.
It's out of stock though, bro.
Fuck.
People have bought them shits up.
It doesn't make any sense.
He actually has Greg Sestero modeling.
It was
like
just
Oh, yeah.
No, it was just one wristband and somebody bought it. It was his actual wristband and someone bought it.
He just needed like $12 for lunch. He sold that shit. So right here we've got the blue striped jacket, which was $69.99, but now it's $29.99.
It comes with a free doggy and a DVD.
What's it say?
It says "Love is Blind." Oh, it does say something. It
Oh,
says "Love is
fuck.
Blind." Tommy
Tommy
Wiseau.
Wiseau, yeah.
And
Love is blind.
and I'm pretty sure modeling this picture,
It's Greg.
yours truly, Greg Sestero,
I recognize that strong chin from anywhere.
from anywhere. Geez. So basically, he's just selling clothes, and it all kind of adds up.
That's how he made his fortune, bro.
Exactly, dude. He's going right back to what it was, and I'm pretty sure with like pretty much the purchase of any of these things, you get a copy of The Room.
It's worth it off the strength of that.
Yeah, exactly. $29, you get a fucking stupid jacket. Do you think if you even order the stuff, you'll even get it though? Like,
That is a good question.
I think so because it's got PayPal on it, and usually if you don't receive your shit, PayPal will charge them money for giving you your money back. So it would end up costing him money to not ship shit out.
that's true.
So
What about that varsity jacket?
usually PayPal legitimizes.
Oh,
his
it
shit.
says The Neighbors. The Neighbors is that show that he has.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're looking at a red varsity jacket that says RR on the front, which might be an inside joke from The Neighbors, or is it PR? I don't know. And the back of there's just a chicken. It says The Neighbors.
What the fuck's up with those pants?
Dude, they're the
Long
TWs.
johns.
I'm pretty sure they
Okay.
say these are the TWs, dude.
Dude, I can get me undies from Tommy.
And what is this, dude? We've got just nothing.
$50, baby.
50
It's on sale though.
The original price you can't even see. There's literally just a white nothing.
He has
right here.
like 15 watches up here too, man.
Let's see some of them watches.
We do have a whole section. So we've got TW collection, women/ladies, men/guys, accessories, watches, and sale items, which is everything. Literally nothing on his website is
It's
not on sale.
Like, everything's on sale.
The Captain watch was $140. Now it's $50.
You think he sells that weird belt that he wears around? Like that weird extra belt?
Hold on, I just went to a watch, and when I went over it, it's the Captain 3 plus 1 free pair of boxers. So,
Oh, shit.
So you can get a watch and me undies.
Dude,
Fuck.
he's got deals on here, bro. Your boy, don't act like he has to have deals on here.
dude, look at you, look at this picture of him, dude. Actually, hold on, y'all want to see?
That was taken with the world's first camera in 1802.
Yeah, dude.
What?
Oh my god, but he's on Agent 2L, man. I'm trying to find the IMDb photo, but if y'all can please look up Tommy Wiseau on IMDb, you will see one of the worst photographs ever taken of a human man ever.
He looks like he's melting.
Yeah.
The sun's melting him.
So we're pretty much wrapping this whole thing up, but real quick, we gotta talk about The Disaster Artist a little bit. James Franco's adaptation of the 2013 book written by Greg Sestero documenting his experience making Tommy Wiseau's The Room. So what do y'all think of the movie?
I
overall?
loved it. I thought it was hilarious. I mean, I hope half that shit isn't as true as it is, because that seems like just a weird experience for everyone involved. But like,
Everyone but Tommy.
yeah.
I buy it. I think a good amount of that movie. I think definitely some things are
exaggerated
for dramatic effect, but I think for the most part it's accurate.
I think Tommy bought a weird bathroom with a cloth curtain.
Yeah.
And put it on set and told no one they could use it. Everyone they couldn't use it.
I mean, Tommy Wiseau interestingly said that the book was 40% accurate, but the movie was 99% accurate?
99.9%.
Oh, yeah.
That 0.1% was the lighting in the beginning
of the movie.
Which he was wearing sunglasses when he watched the movie, when he said that. The only thing, what's interesting, though, is we were kind of talking about this weird dynamic that James Franco has with Tommy Wiseau. I mean, the best example is when this movie actually won a Golden Globe, and James Franco was accepting the award, and he called up Tommy Wiseau to come to be on stage with them. And then when Tommy Wiseau got on stage,
he tried to speak on mic, and James Franco like checked him, like whoa,
but in like a laughing way, like it's like he's like, no, you fucking idiot,
yeah, you're like don't even, you crazy, I'm not letting you talk up here,
which is a bummer. And in that one interview where they ask, they're like, so Tommy, if you could been on the microphone, what would you have said? And he just said, if a lot of people would just love each other, the world would be a beautiful place.
He's not wrong.
But that was his response.
That's what his child bride told him in the 17th century.
Jesus Christ. So, and also in a lot of interviews, when you see the way that Tommy and Franco react to each other, Franco seems like he's kind of openly mocking Tommy at all times.
Like, definitely openly mocking him. So it's like, I don't know if James Franco's just like an asshole like that, or if like Tommy is just.
And what's up with Tommy? Like, it like? I mean, what's it got to be like being like James Franco, being like a successful Hollywood actor, and just dealing with Tommy Wiseau every day?
Him just critiquing every like weird thing, like, hey, the camera is fucking shitty. Not anything of substance. Just like, what do you like, Tommy? What do you think about the scene? How do you think I portrayed you as a character in the scene? I think the camera needs a lot of work.
He's like,
shut the fuck up, man.
You made the room.
Yeah, man, he's lucky to have all this happen to him. I love Tommy, and we'll talk a little bit more about how we feel about him later. But a couple interesting other facts about the Disaster Artist. One fact we just found out, I thought this was really interesting. Apparently, James Franco method acted during this movie, but he also directed it, which means he was directing in the Tommy character, which is I've never heard of that ever being done.
That's insane.
That's wild. Anything else we gotta say about this movie?
I don't know, man. No, I think we pretty much got it, man. It's a fucking weird movie. Written, produced, and directed by a weird dude. Mm-hmm. And then satired by James Franco and his brother. I think they did a pretty good job of it in Disaster Artist.
It's a fantastic. I think Disaster Artist is a really good movie.
Do you think you can enjoy the Disaster Artist without seeing The Room?
Yeah. But I think it's like putting the whipped cream on top of a sundae. It's still a sundae, but The Room just adds that that whipped cream and that cherry on top.
That extra layer to set it off.
Yeah, if you see The Disaster Artist and you just think, oh, this is a funny movie, and you don't feel intrigued to watch The Room, honestly, if you're even watching Disaster Artist and didn't see The Room, that's kind of weird. But whatever. I don't know. They have to be seen together. I think the best way you can do it. But what we did actually when we watched it, we just watched The Room, and then we're like, all right, fuck it, throw in Disaster Artist.
Right into the Disaster Artist. Yeah.
Okay, so now I guess it's time for the segments where we decide, based on all of our knowledge of the behind the scenes, the true realities of making this movie, are the good times killing us? So, who wants to kick it off today?
I'll take it. I'll take it, man. I'm going to go ahead and say a strong no. I don't think the good times are killing us. I actually think it's really, regardless of what we do or don't know about Tommy Wiseau, it's really kind of an inspirational story, man. Mm-hmm. The dude came over here from wherever, with whatever money he acquired or whatever, and he wanted to be an actor, and wasn't going to happen for him. Like, it doesn't happen for millions of people who do, and he was like, you know what? I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to make my own movie.
I'm going to sell these jeans.
Yeah, I'm going to finance my own shit and just do it. And I'm not going to follow any of the rules. And it fucking worked out for him for all the wrong reasons. But, he did it. He really did. So I think it's like really a sick story that he just kind of like just said, fuck everything. I'm just going to do this thing. and no one's gonna stop me. No one's gonna tell me I can't do it.
Fuck yeah, dude. I'll take next. I definitely would agree that the good times are not killing us. I mean, I can see the argument some people might have. The only argument I can really see is, this idea of kind of celebrating a man who ultimately, he did not make The Room to be a comedy at all. This movie was made to be a serious drama, and it's kind of making fun of him, but overall the guy is happy. He seems to have really embraced it and feel all right about it. And ultimately, I think what's amazing about this movie is that there really are tons of horrible movies out there. There's tons of piece of shit horrible movies. But what makes movies like The Room or Troll 2 or Miami Connection really stand out is that there's so much heart put into it. There's so much passion behind this movie. Everyone means what they're doing. It just happens to be that it is fucking
terrible.
Objectively terrible. But like a lot of people have said, and I would say this as well, is I've seen this movie way more times than I've seen most movies that are actually good that I like.
Yeah, I've seen this more than Citizen Kane.
I've seen this more than pretty much any movie I can imagine besides maybe The Billion, but that's another episode. So, K-Town, I really want to hear. We're ending this. You get the last word, but you have a theory.
All right. Well, let me start with this. Tommy's story, his real life story. It's the best example I can think of the American dream. He fought hard, he worked hard, and he made his dreams come true through sheer perseverance.
I really
and
thought
work.
you were going to say he fought hard, like in the Revolutionary War or some shit.
I'm getting there. Hold on. So, I mean, no, I don't think the good time... The situation that we know on paper, I don't think those good times are killing us. I think, this was a guy who wasn't ever going to make it, and he fought and made it for himself. And his friend, too.
Forced his way in there.
Forced his way in there and fucking built his gold tower and presented it to the world and brought a lot of happiness to people. However...
For sure.
There's something else behind the scenes.
If you look at all the information we talked about, he's from some eastern country. He's weird.
We don't know how old he is.
We don't know how old he is. We don't know where he got this money from. I think he's from Transylvania.
Preach.
He's hundreds, if not thousands of years old.
When he moved to America, he moved to the bayou.
He moved to the bayou, probably owned a plantation or something.
In New Orleans,
In
the Big Easy.
And, it's literally like Interview with a Vampire. He's a fucking vampire, guys. Tommy Wiseau is a fucking vampire. Dude, no one knows. That's why none of his stories make sense. None of it's consistent because he's lying. He's a fucking immortal.
Long black hair, pale white skin.
Sunglasses on.
Dude,
built for no reason.
Yeah, just built.
Has like an internal youth of strength, kind of, but still something off about it.
Has all this mysterious money that probably came from the gold from being a fucking.
Yeah.
You're saying a slave driver.
He was probably a slave owner.
How would a vampire be a slave owner?
Tom Cruise was an Interview with a Vampire.
Was he? He was a slave owner?
Yeah,
that's what the slaves.
The slaves burned his house down because he was eating them. You don't remember that whole?
So that's Tommy Wiseau. That's what
Tommy Wiseau is basically Tom Cruise in Interview with a Vampire.
Dude, Tom Cruise.
Oh my god,
dude.
And a lot of this is like someone probably burned him like hundreds of years ago. Some blonde woman and his child bride in the 17th century in his castle.
And he's finally like, I can make a movie.
Denny was his squire that he took under his wing, and Mark was his head knight that betrayed him. It's fucking... Tommy's a fucking vampire, dude.
What's even crazier about that is apparently he was actually trying to add a subplot to the movie in which Johnny was a vampire.
What? I'm telling you,
dude.
I'm fucking telling you. Hands down right now, Tommy Wiseau is a vampire.
It's in the Wikipedia. I should have had this ready, but we didn't really start talking about this until the end.
You heard it here first, guys.
Okay, so according to the Wikipedia, it says Sestero recalls in his book, The Disaster Artist, that Wiseau planned a subplot in which Johnny was revealed to be a vampire because of Wiseau's fascination with the creatures.
Because he lived that shit every fucking day.
His fascination.
And that's why he's starting to look old now, is because he stopped feasting on fucking human flesh.
Because everyone has their eyes on him. They know. If Tommy Wiseau rolls up on you to feast on your flesh, you're like, oh, hi,
People
Mark.
know, yeah,
Hi, Johnny.
He's recognizable now. You know?
Maybe that's why he wanted to film in 2 types of cameras to see if he would appear
Which one he would pop up on
which
or
one
not
he would
pop
appear
up
on.
on.
Dude.
What the fuck, man?
We're really cracking this at the end. We're really busting this one wide open.
By the way, Sestero recounts how Wiseau tasked the crew with devising a way for Johnny's Mercedes-Benz to fly across the San Francisco skyline, revealing Johnny's vampiric nature. Imagine if that shit just happened. I wish it did.
The movie would have been so much better.
It just has this weird vampire angle at the end.
So if he is a vampire, are the good times still not killing us?
I mean, obviously he's not feasting anymore. He's starting to melt in that sun. So I think he's turned a new leaf. It's still not killing us.
Okay. Although he has killed many of us, but overall, we're talking about The Room, not Tommy Wiseau's. Who knows how long past as a vampire? Overall, seems the good times are not killing us. So this was a great time, guys. I think we've wrapped it up. We've finished up The Room. We are now leaving The Room.
Thank fucking God.
This is a great ep. Had a lot of fun with this, guys.
This is a good one, man.
This is a good one. So, do we have any shout-outs real quick? Follow us on the Instagram. Listen to all of our episodes. We got new shit coming out soon. Anything else, guys? Anything else at the last minute?
Nah.
We're dead.
Hold on. In the great words of Tommy Wiseau, if a lot of people love each other, the world would be a beautiful place. But until then, the good times are fucking killing us.
Love is blind.
And also, the 2 other executive producers listed on the movie, those guys, they were not involved in the movie at all. One of them was Tommy's ESL teacher, his English as a second language tutor, and the other one was just someone who died 2 years ago, just someone he knew.
His boy, he probably had some good information. He probably knew a lot about Tommy.
Yeah, true.
Maybe Tommy drank him.
Oh, shit, dude.
And his essence was in Tommy, so by proxy, he was a producer.
A producer by proxy, he was an executive producer.
Your essence sustained me.